Well, so our next speaker, who is going to enlighten us with a fascinating topic of security monitoring on Google Cloud. We are privileged to have with us today a well-known speaker who is manager Google Cloud Engineering at KPMG Global Services and an expert in the field of cloud security.
He is over a decade experienced IT professional with expertise in information security and cloud computing. We will learn how to effectively monitor the security of our applications and infrastructure on Google Cloud.
So ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Mr. Jitendra Gupta.
Hi all. Okay, so I hope I'm audible now. Okay, can we run the deck? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I believe everyone is sleepy now, very much sleepy, and I don't want to bore any more. Okay. This is going to be very light topic, though it is very serious topic. So can we be with me for at least 10 minutes? Hardly 10 minutes. I won't take more than that. Okay? So are you with me? Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, so you can find me here on, I'm running my YouTube channel, Medium, and on LinkedIn I'm very active. The topic I'm going to cover today is security monitoring in Google Cloud. Okay, not going to going very deep, but the fundamentals and the best practices only. Okay. Okay, so the agenda that I'm going to cover is the fundamentals of security monitoring, the understanding on the Google Cloud security aspect, the security monitoring tools and services provided by GCP, the best practices, the use cases, and a few of the future trends that we are going to see very soon with the security aspect of it. Okay. Okay, so now as we talk about the fundamentals of security monitoring, it's nothing but basically what we are going, we need to look out is for monitoring of all the resources that we are deploying to cloud, right? So it is going to be the observation, analysis, the assessment that we perform, and based on that we take a certain kind of security aspect that we want to actually fix on. Basically, the security that we are going to monitor is more on the system-wide or the network that we are going to utilize. Right? Again, also this is the common challenge as well. So continuous monitoring itself is a big challenge, right? Because we need to be able to take care of it within few minutes. We cannot have that security breaches and can not be spending for longer, right? So that is again a bigger challenge here. And that's the reason that it is very important to monitor the security, just because we want to have the timely identification of the vulnerabilities, okay? And we want to ensure it is compliant with the industry standards. Okay. So coming to Google Cloud, when we talk about the Google Cloud, what all security aspect it is going to already covering, right? So what all things that Google Cloud is already offering you to secure your environment. So like secure infrastructure, IAM, identity and access management, like the least privilege that we already saw in previous session. Also the network security, so Google Cloud provides the VPC, global VPC and the firewalls. Data encryption, so data encryption was covered in the databases session where we want to ensure that data is encrypted when it is at rest and when it is in transit. Okay? And it is very much important to be compliant all the time and follow all the industry compliance aspect. So that is again offered by Google Cloud. Okay. Now talking about the various services that is offered by GCP here. So I have actually tried to highlight more on the security command center, because that is whole and soul, like it's a UI, you can say a console where you can visualize all sort of the observation, the monitoring, even the analysis part of it. Everything is covered on with that one particular centralized view, right? Apart from that, the other services that we mostly we do not look out in general is Google, cloud audit logging, cloud logging, monitoring, if we try to look at those analysis, like when you check the logs, when you perform the analysis on the logs, it is actually going to help you in securing your environment much better. Now, apart from this, we can the Google Cloud allows for the integration with the multiple other services, right? So integration with the third-party tools, like it can be integrated with Splunk or Datadog, so like that. Okay. Some of the key security services or monitoring use cases that we can look at is the network and perimeter security monitoring, implementation of centralized logging. Suppose we have a huge list of projects, okay, and it is generating a lot of log. We can actually redirect those logs into one centralized project where it is going to perform all sort of analysis and see if there is a security leak and fix it immediately. Okay. Also, we can implement some AI based models, like the anomaly detection and the behavior analysis can be performed. Okay. And as well as we can configure the incidents response and send out the notification. So when I talk about the configuration of incident response, like any sort of security incident happen and we want to actually send out the notifications immediately. So it can be actually integrated with like sending out a mail or the SMS, or we can actually integrate it with some sort of another applications like Slack. Okay. And again, for the compliance and the regulatory monitoring. Okay. Now, so when I talk about some of the best practices, we can utilize the security analytics, like the security command center. Regularly review and analyze the logs. So the log monitoring, cloud logging and monitoring is covered with that best practices. And conduct the vulnerability management. So we can use certain tools which can help you in analyzing the vulnerabilities, if any there in your application deployment. Like in the CI/CD applications, we saw that there can be any sort of security leaks or the passwords are not managed properly. That analysis can be performed, or that should be actually done properly, and that's kind of a best practice that we follow. And at last, the IAM best practices. So we should be allowing very minimum privileges or it is required for any application to access, or the user who want to access it, right? So only required permissions has to be added. That should be a best practice that we follow. Even in case of the service accounts, if you see, we should be looking at that aspect. Okay. So yeah, and from the future trends perspective, if you see, so do you agree on these pointers, like greater focus on the cloud native security, right? So as of now, if you see, security is one thing that is ignored all the time, right? But it is very, very important and we realize it only when it is actually certain leaks happen or certain breaches happen with the security, right? It's a huge loss for any organizations. So it is going to be a very serious concern, even now in presently also it is a bit of a concern, but in future it's going to be taking a lot of space from the working aspect as well. Like as of now, like we try to focus more on the DevOps aspect or maybe the infra side of it, but security is still not touched well. Okay. And so you can see the second trend can be collaboration with security teams and the DevOps teams. And we already have a term for that. That is DevSecOps, right? Anyone heard of the DevSecOps? What is it? Okay. So we know how it is going to be integrated with this DevOps tools, right? Okay. Now also we can see use of security orchestration, automation, and response tools. So this is going to be one place where you are going to see all sort of analysis, like the tool security command center, right? So security command center is one place where you can see all sort of what happened in the past, how it is going to be in future, like based on the AI recommendations, you can actually see them, right? So those analysis can be performed, and based on that you can actually take your right remediations, or you can say the proactive remediations on any of the security threats. Okay. Also, we are going to soon we are going to see a future trend like blockchain technologies can be used to create a tamper-proof logs. Like the logs where I'm talking about why these logs are very important. These logs can be like the credit card information logs, right? How the data is processed, what sort of information they have taken. Now that has to be very much secure, and that can be even enhanced with the use of the blockchain technologies. Okay. Okay, so I was very quick here, and this is going to be my last slide. So to conclude, all in all, if you see security monitoring in Google Cloud involves the implementation of best practices, protecting the resource and detect the threats. Okay, and we should be utilizing all these best practices to minimize the risk or try to make it even zero risk for any cloud environments. And that is going to enable the other organizations, the organizations which are very rigid to move to the cloud, they are going to enable it more better to make a right choice for the cloud platforms. Okay, yeah, so that is all from my side, and I have saved 5 minutes for the other speakers. Okay, any questions I can take? Yes. Tell. Okay, so if I got the question correctly, you are looking for how the data security is handled in the cloud, right? Okay. Okay, in the GCP. Okay. Okay. So in GCP, when we see data security aspect of it, like all the time, by default, Google ensures all data is encrypted. Okay, so Google provides its own encryption method. So it is ensuring that at rest and during transit, the data is secure. Now, apart from that, it provides you support for managing your own keys. Like you can have the security keys managed by yourself. You are managing it, so it's called managed security services, security keys. Now, apart from that, we can actually bring our own security keys or the security encryption methods, right? So we can do that as well. So all sort of components. However we want to customize it, it is supported. Yeah. Any other question? No? Okay. Thank you. So again, you can reach out me here for any sort of support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jitendra sir, for such an amazing session.
Now it's time for felicitation. I would like to request Mr. Mayur Rathi to please come on the dais and felicitate our speaker, Mr. Jitendra Gupta.